Good morning or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Firm LLC. Instead of doing a conventional frequently asked questions page, I decided to give you some brief information. Little disclaimer here, this does not create a client relationship with the person watching this. So you may want to call an attorney and get information here, but this is just basic information that I get from many clients. So I invite you to my office here. I'm going to go over personal injury cases. So the first thing that you want to do, if you have the ability to do so at the scene of the accident, is make sure you're safe. A lot of times you want to leave the cars where they are, but if it's not safe, you may want to move them off the roadway. You want to call police if you have the ability to do so. And if there are witnesses, of course you want to get the names and numbers of anyone that may have seen the accident. Plenty of times the police are not there on the scene. They don't observe the actual crash. So therefore you want to get the name of any witnesses. Following, you definitely want to make sure that you seek treatment if the occasion occurs that you feel some type of pain or something to that effect. It may just be going to the ER and getting checked out, but you want to make sure you do that as soon as possible. And we hope all is well, but all may not be well. But you want to do that as soon as possible. After being released from the ER, you definitely want to make sure that you follow the advice of whoever saw you. They may say follow up with your primary care physician or seek other treatment if you don't have a primary care physician. But all this is essential, not just to the case, but more importantly to helping you feel better. And the game plan is to get you to where you were prior to the crash occurring. This is all, of course, based on if you're not at fault. If you feel you are at fault and it's determined that you are at fault, you want to contact your provider, and your insurance carrier should at least provide some kind of counsel for you in the event you are being sued. Even if you don't believe you are at fault, and a lot of people mistakenly forget to do this, you want to contact your provider. The other person may be uninsured, and you definitely want to make sure you put your insurance provider or carrier on notice as soon as possible. Okay, you want to do that. Also, you may have medical coverage on your policy. In Virginia, they have MedPay. In Maryland, they have what we call PIP, affectionately, but it's medical coverage for you. So first-party coverage has nothing to do with the other person's insurance. So you want to make sure you apply for that, because there are time limits that may be stringent upon you applying for medical coverage, and that will help you pay for your hospital treatment or any other treatment that may follow. You definitely want to start facilitating the repairs for your car or getting rental coverage. It depends on what kind of coverage or policy you have. You may have to pay a deductible. If you're going through the other person's carrier, there should be no deductible that you'll have to pay. Typical amounts are $250 deductible, $500 deductible, $1,000 deductibles that you may have to pay if you're going through your carrier to get your automobile fixed, if you're waiting for a decision to be made on who's at fault. You definitely want to follow up if a report was prepared, police report, an incident report, crash reports. They go by different names. You definitely want to keep in touch and follow up with the precinct or the office that will have that report, so you can get a copy of that report. But it's very important to collect as much information as you can at the scene from the other driver, or from exchange of information, or from any witnesses that may be at the scene. Get tag numbers, anything of the sort, if you're able to do so. If you're seriously hurt, you may be in the ambulance and on your way to the hospital, and you're not able to ascertain that information. But it's very important to report the claim to your carrier as soon as possible, so they are on notice that you've been involved in a crash. You may get a call from the other person's insurance carrier, and different attorneys have different protocols on this, of whether to give a statement or not give a statement. It's totally up to you and your attorney, and maybe your call whether you want to provide a statement. I have in the past given statements about how the accident occurred, and it varies from client to client. I generally do not like my clients to give information on their injuries, but just to say I'm seeking treatment, I have been injured. So it varies, and that's why you should get an attorney to represent you. Again, this is for informational purposes only. So again, you want to secure as much information as you can from the scene. You want to call the police. You want to report the claim or report the crash to your carrier. They will give you a claim number. If you are going to seek treatment, you do want to apply for your medical coverage on your policy, and they will tell you what your policy limits are. And you definitely want to follow up with any type of treatment that is given to you by the ER or urgent care or your primary care physician. Whoever you go to first, you definitely want to follow up with that treatment. All right, so I hope you guys are having a good day. These are the general questions that are asked of me. There are other things that I haven't explained, but to keep the video short and precise here, this should get you started. If you've ever been involved in a crash, or you have just been involved in a crash, feel free to share this information. But this is the frequently asked questions page, and please consult an attorney. This is not a client-attorney relationship. Again, this is just information, and I thought it best to give you a video for frequently asked questions, as opposed to you reading through paragraphs and paragraphs of information. Drive safe, take care, God bless.